I think there's no stronger or more powerful belief when you do something truly for yourself. And I assume you've clicked on this video looking to find that strength to hopefully drive you and push you forward as an aspiring content creator, because I'm gonna tell you something. I've found that strength and it's incredible. I now sit in a position where I'm doing exactly what I want to do and have wanted to do for a long time, and getting to this point has taken a lot. It's taken a lot. And for years I've put myself first and been selfish to chase my dreams, and I think you should do that too. And when I look back on, what's got me here today and why I'm still here and why I kept going through all the years of creating content, I think it comes down to two things that are related to kind of doing it for yourself. And so when I think back at why I started creating content 4.5 years ago, honestly, I hated corporate. I hated working for somebody else. I hated the thought that for a large portion of my life, I would have to be doing this thing that was for somebody else, a job, right? We all have to get a job, and most people spend 30, 40 years working a job. And I said to myself, Ben, if you get to the age 40, 50, 60 and you look back on your life, are you going to be truly happy with how much effort and desire and just willingness you had to pursue something truly for yourself, truly because you wanted to be your own boss, you wanted to be in control of your life completely? And I said, if I didn't even try a lot, right, I would be so regretful and disappointed. And that in its core built this fire inside of me that really just wanted desperately to just make myself a success. I felt in corporate, I thought I knew what my skills were, I thought I had some talents, and I thought they were being wasted. I thought every day I was showing up to work doing something I don't want to do, not utilizing my skills, answering to somebody else. I'm thinking, this is shit. And so I told myself, well, you've got to do something about it. Opportunities aren't just going to turn up on your doorstep. Things aren't just going to magically happen and you're going to be this person that you want to be. You've got to do something about it, right? And that all started with sacrifice, which is the first of two things which I'm going to discuss, which I think all content creators need to basically hone in on and, really figure out the sacrifice they need to make in their life in order to kind of pursue their dreams of content creation. And so honestly, I think the easiest and biggest sacrifices that people could make are watching TV, gaming, and socializing. Those are the sacrifices that I made. I stopped watching TV, I stopped gaming, and I didn't go out as much. I didn't see my friend as much. And honestly, having this more selfish, do it for yourself attitude does come with, things that aren't great. If you sacrifice here, you have to sacrifice here, and sacrificing my social life and having this locked in mindset, I feel sometimes I feel like I've been too selfish in my life. Sometimes I feel like, having put myself first for a long time, it's difficult to put other people first because I was so desperate to chase my dreams and achieve what I wanted to achieve. It's now like I'm trying to reverse engineer that mindset, but this is the way you have to be, in my opinion. When you make sacrifice, you free up time to do the things related to content creation. And if you're not willing to make the sacrifice in other areas of your life, where are you going to find the time that you need to have to make content, to do all the things that you're going to need to do? Because ultimately, the more time that you give yourself to make content, the better results you'll get. you'll be able to spend more time researching ideas. You'll be able to spend more time scripting, more time editing, more time just doing things related to content creation, which will make you better quicker, which will then get you progress quicker. But if you're not willing to make the sacrifices, I'm going to ask you, do you actually want it enough? I know I wanted it enough. I know what side I was sat on, and I was willing to make those sacrifices for 3 or 4 years. If you're only willing to make those sacrifices for a month and you can't do it, then you need to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, why are you actually doing what you're doing? Is it because you want social gratification, you want other people to think you look cool, you want your family to be proud of you, you want money, you want, to be an influencer and all that? Well, I don't know whether they're good enough reasons. You need to have a deep core reason rooted inside of you that's going to push you through to make the decisions that you need to make, because there are going to be a lot of hard decisions in your way. And if your reasonings aren't strong enough, those hard decisions will break you down. And then the second part as to why I think I'm here and what one of the most important things content creators need to figure out and master is all to do with mindset, and not just mindset, but mindset when you're not making progress. This is a big problem that I had for a long time, and it's one that a lot of creators go through. When you're making the sacrifice and you're doing the things in your spare time, whether that be in the evening or in the morning, in your free time, and you're doing all of these things and you're not making any progress, or you're not making it obvious to yourself what the progress is, this is where most people fail as creators, right? This is the reason why people don't make it to full time. It's not because they're not good enough at video editing. It's not because they're not good enough at creating content, not because they don't have enough natural ability. It's because they're not able to push through the times when they get nothing, right? And I have had years of feeling like I'm not really getting anywhere, right? I have failed about 5 or 6, 7 times in many niches, right? But every time I got back up. Why? Because still that deep core reason, hated my job, really wanted to do this for myself, really wanted to just make sure that I'm living my life how I want to live it, pushing my potential in the right directions and moving forward, in those directions. Because, I'm just going to spit an honest truth here, right? When you start creating content, you're going to be shit, right? There seems to be this strange mindset that people think that once they start making videos, if they put effort in and make sacrifice, after 3 to 6 months, they deserve to have significant progress. That's not how it works. I'm just gonna be honest here, because a lot of people come to me and they say, Ben, I'm gonna give up already. I'm not having any success. I haven't been making videos for 3 months. In what other skill set or skill do you learn in 3 months and you're above average? Right? Content creation is competitive. You're competing for everybody's attention, right? The viewer, and you're indirectly competing with, other content creators for the viewer's attention. Getting good at making videos is hard. It is hard. It takes a long time. And as I said, you're going to go through long periods where you get nothing back, whether that is views, followers, generally those are the metrics that people are looking at for signals as to whether you're making progress or not. And my advice here is, a couple of things. You really need to celebrate the small wins, because they're going to be small. They're not always going to be big. You need to just make sure that you are appreciating the fact that you are taking those steps in that right direction. It might not seem like you're making progress because you're not getting the numbers back on the videos that you want and that you think that you deserve, but are you getting better? The likelihood is yes. And if you keep getting better and you keep getting better and you keep getting better, one day you will have a video pop off. You will have that follower growth. The only problem is you don't know when that is. Right? And so are you willing to run in a race where you don't know where the finish line is? right? And that finish line could be your first viral video. That finish line could be 100,000 followers. That finish line could be $5,000 a month, right? The problem is that you don't know where that finish line is, and most people are not willing to keep running when they don't know when it is, right? They give up when these barriers and hurdles come into play. They're making sacrifice. They're getting nothing. It's deflating, demotivating. Why am I doing this? I've been through this, right? It's fucking shit. I won't even, pretend that it's not. It's really, sorry for swearing, but it is really fucking shit, right? Because I've been through days and weeks where I'm thinking, why am I doing this? I'm getting nowhere. Like, I'm sacrificing hours. I'm not going out with my friends. I'm getting FOMO. I'm saying no to this, that, and the other. And all I'm fucking doing here is just making shit videos that get no views, right? Again, I'm sorry for swearing, but that's truly how I felt. And I get that is probably how you feel sometimes. And do you know what? You just have to build that mindset of just, keep going. I had two mantras, right, in my content creation journey up until full time. It was 1, keep going, and 2, you're nearly there, right? Simple and sweet. I sticky note these. I make sure they're visible, because just telling myself to keep going is really just sometimes all you need to tell yourself. Keep going one step in front of the other, right? Maybe I don't need to run for the whole of that race and I can just walk for a period of time. But as long as I'm walking in the right direction to the finish, then all good. And the next one was you're nearly there. This is when you start to see light. This is when you start to have success, when you start to get progress, because progress is what we want. And if we're getting progress, we think we're getting nearer to the finish line, right? And then my mantra to there is just, you're nearly there. It's almost like you're nearly there. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to the finish line, but in my head, it's gone from keep going to you're nearly there. The momentum's there now. The progress is there now. I'm going to take that and I'm going to build it into my mindset to keep pushing forward, right? This isn't going to be easy. There are going to be times where I think I've got progress and I think I've got momentum, and that is just chopped. I've had this happen to me 3 times where I thought, shit, I am nearly there, and then bang, 100 miles still left to go. No, you're not nearly there, or you've been going in the wrong direction. And I'm like, fuck. Damn, right, cool. Let's recalculate, let's rethink, and let's just keep moving forward, right? And so those 2 things there, making sacrifice and being able to handle the fact that you're potentially not going to make any progress for long periods of time with that sacrifice. Doing those 2 things are if you can master those 2 things and you get good at making sacrifice and being disciplined and mastering your mindset when things aren't going well, you will make it as a content creator. You will. But the problem is that most people can't manage or handle those 2 things, and so therefore they don't make it. How quickly you progress as a content creator all comes down to, how much time you're willing to put into content creation, whether you focus on the right things, which I'll discuss in another video, and also some level of natural ability and talent for creativity and spotting ideas. I get that, not everybody has, different natural ability, but you will get there as long as you're willing to say, right, I'm going to work on this for 5 years. I'm going to be consistent for 5 years. And yeah, there are going to be ups and downs, but I'm still going to be here. And if you're still here, you'll be a full-time content creator in 5 years' time. I have no doubt about that at all. And so I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's just shined some light on what I think you need to get good at and understand, where you need to be in terms of here to get over here, based off my experience and what I feel like will get you to where you want to be and be successful.